can't not believe that Ken put me behind those three guys up here, and they're talking about tens of thousands of people and participants. Okay, so my name's Greg Boyd. I was in the fire service for 23 years. I was a battalion chief, and then I moved over to emergency management. Am I going the right direction? Wrong way? So I moved over to emergency management. Spring Hill is located in 2 counties. So that means that we have double the amount of agencies that we're interacting with. So when I was introduced to TAC through Dallas Clements with the Tennessee National Guard, I thought it would be an awesome fit. So I came back, my IT director, his office was right next door to mine. I said, hey, is this something we could do? He literally got out of his office, went into a closet and pulled a server out and set it on there, set it on the table. And we had a server up in a couple weeks. So what I do where I'm at is I'm the squeakiest wheel in Middle Tennessee, and I'm a TAC evangelist, and I'm talking to these people constantly about, hey, you need to do this. You need to get on TAC. You need to try it. We have a server. I'll give you a certificate. You can get on the server. So here's my contact information. Everybody else put theirs last. I put mine first. You're welcome to do that. Hit me up. I am always hitting up the subject matter experts, but May 8th, 2024, after 2 years of squeaking, we had a tornado event in Murray County. And when I showed up to the EOC, this is what I saw on the board, okay? So this hurts my soul when I come in and I see this. So they showed up, they got some, this was a Sharpie on a paper map, okay? And I just look around and I'm kind of shaking my head. So the next morning I show up and then this is what we have. And so then we were able to put this up. And I had an opportunity, the governor came down and I had an opportunity for about a 5-minute discussion with him and said, hey, I'm laying the groundwork for a state server in Tennessee. So Governor Lee saw this, was very intrigued, so I'm working on that. So what I do is I try to get with other city agencies. So this is another instance of our snow removal routes in the city. And I went to our public works. I said, hey, can you guys give me a map of what we use for snow removal so I can get it out to the fire and police and the other agencies within the city? This is a paper map, again, with blue Sharpie that was designated. And they made the mistake of putting this on Facebook, okay? The people went crazy. You can see the dates on there. This was from last winter, okay? They're like, my street's not even on there, okay? Spring Hill is one of the fastest growing communities in Tennessee, if you don't know, okay? When I got there 20 years ago, it was about 35,000. We're almost double that now. So I went to the GIS department. I said, hey, can you send me a shapefile for that? Guess what? We have it in TAC. Okay, we can push it out to our units. We can use our trackers in our apparatus and our other machines, just like Corey was talking about. Snow plows, dump trucks, we have that capability. Are we doing it yet? No, but that's why I'm the squeaky wheel. All right, event management. So this is our Christmas parade. This was sent to me by the police. This was done in Google Maps, okay? None of their icons match what they have going on, okay? They're using a volcano for a barricade. So what I do is I come in, Charles gave me the idea, hey, hit up Verizon, they'll send you some cash phones. So this is me hand jamming ATAC onto 90 Verizon cell phones. Point of note, make sure you turn them on, make sure they're charged up, and make sure they update, okay? Because they will do that. You go to turn them on, what's gonna happen? It's gonna go through the update. They're sitting in the crowd. You're telling them how to register and get their credentials on there. And then all these hands start coming up in the crowd. And they'll be, my phone's updating. So then you have to wait, and then you're taking away from the other training opportunity. I see Brandon, he's shaking his head. There's nothing more. When you only have 15 minutes, there's nothing. So just get all that done on the front end. Talking about loading, when we hand our phones out to someone that's not in our agency, they get a volunteer credential and they are write only. They do not see us. So we have the ability to control that at the server level, of course. And then data sync. I always try to put a data sync in when we're doing this. Every Blue Sky event we run, we have an event, because an event is only an event until it's an incident. So we do all the same paperwork, we do all the same planning, we do a safety brief, and we make sure that everybody can get to it and they're on the same page. I put up together this PDF for this training, and I'm happy to share this with you. I know ITAC has been a swear word this week, so I'd like to get with Corey about developing some of these video links and adding them to here. But you just click on the hyperlink. It takes you to a 2-minute video on how to do that. You just go down, check off the boxes, say, hey, we're going to teach you how to create a box. We're going to teach you how to create a circle. We're going to put some points on the map. We're going to zip it up into a data package, and then we're going to send it to the data sync. So happy to share that with anybody. This is the new parade route, and we divide, and similar to what Corey did in New York City, all right, we have sections. So this was 2 years ago. We have 3 sections now. So we're trying to simplify our process and make it more streamlined for our command post. Here's some of our barrels for what we do. Point of note here, the red rectangle there, that's where the walkers kind of pull off the path there and they load on buses. We have a bunch of marching bands that come in, and we want to make sure that there's enough room. So I think this is a video. I don't know if it's going to play or not. Can you hit that for me? But one of the things I try to show them to try to create some honey and some carrots to get people to use it is we want to make sure we have enough room. So these icons are in TAC natively, and there's probably 100 different vehicles you can put in there, but we want to make sure our buses are going to fit in the parking lot the way we want them to. So we only had 3 this time, but if we had 8 or 10, there may have been issues. So that's why I show this on here, so that if we need to grow, we make sure we have enough room. Same thing here, we put the fire trucks on there, we've got the police cars, making sure that the trucks are going to be able to block the road as needed. So again, just more carrots and honey, trying to show people the capabilities so that they can get on and get hands-on and want to use it. Rubber sheet. If you're going to use TAC in the command post or at any point, you have to become a whiz with the rubber sheet plug-in. We had an incident. This is a battery cell, an automotive battery cell plant in Spring Hill. It was brand new while they were under construction. The workers got into the habit of calling in bomb threats, because the first time they did it, what'd they do? They sent everybody home. Okay, so then the next week, guess what happened? Another bomb threat. So we were there. That stopped pretty quick. But they pulled out this big map because they were having to clear all of the different areas of this brand new structure that no fire department had been through. So I took a picture, put it in rubber sheets, and put it at the command post so we could kind of navigate. And if they said 300E, we knew where they were and where in the building that they were moving. Another planned event, we have in Tennessee, we have a ham festival every year. This usually has about 7,000 people show up to it. It's a big event for us. It's kind of not quite an all hands on deck for us, but the event, we make the event planners place a layout of where everything's going to be. Guess what? Rubber sheet. It goes into TAC. I don't have to do it, and it's already in there for everybody to see. You can see our icons. We had some cash phones at this event, and they're all interspaced throughout the venue there. Here's another thing. I pulled this from the codes department. This is another pretty elaborate commercial structure we have, and I just rubber sheeted them over top of each other. I pulled the floor plans from our codes department, and so that our responders would have an opportunity to see what's on the inside before they have to go in. They had an active shooter here at one time, and while nobody was on TAC, I was able to hear through the radio what building they were going through, and I could follow along. Here's another school pre-plan. We do not have the funding to have CRG overlays, so this image was taken from the emergency plan that the school system is required to do. I had a gal 20-year-old gal that's a whiz at Photoshop. She helped me trim all the white off of it, and we overlaid it at the school there. So those worked really good, and I have them saved on the server. They're in a data package, and they can select them and use them as they need to. Here's another video. Again, lack of funding. I use Web ODM for photogrammetry software. So I took my drone up. We went for a flight. Web ODM will create the orthomosaic over top of it. It will also create a 3D model for free. So can you play that video for me? So just kind of showing you this is our fire training ground. Again, I'm not going to fly over somebody's private property, so we use what we have here, and I put this together for the fire department, and it allowed them to kind of see what we have that they can load in for their pre-plans. Can we do it one more time? I know it's super fast. But it's a 10-minute flight, 20-minute processing, maybe 40 minutes on the outside, depending on how big of the structure. The main thing that I've found is make sure it's super sunny, and it'll work pretty good. All right, TAC ICU. I use the heck out of TAC ICU. So we use it in our parades. I'll set it up at static points along the parade route, and then I'll also put it in the front vehicle so that we can kind of see where they're at and go from there. I'm going to go ahead and let's hit play on that. Uh-oh. Please sign in to confirm you're not a bot. TAC ICU is a plugin in the Play Store. So it's a standalone app that you point back to your TAC server with your Media MTX or Wowzer or whatever. So, what's that? Camera. Yeah, it's a camera. It used the native camera in an Android device, and you can display it as a cursor on target in your server. There's a couple more videos, so I don't know if there we go. So you can see we had a train derailment. Okay, luckily there was nothing on it, but I was able to take this, stream it back, and then I was frantically texting police, fire, and city admin to say, hey, this is what's going on out here. You don't have to come. It was the first, I'd been there 20 years. This is the first train derailment that we had been on. So I wanted to make sure I soaked it in and experienced the whole thing, but I also wanted them to get it if they weren't going to come out there. So you can see the sensor point of interest down there on the left. It's showing you the orientation of where we were. I put some circles on there, and in the event that it was something, we've got a little bit of a containment area there as well. They do eventually get it up on there. Can we go to the next slide? We're rocking on the YouTube right now. Oops, one back. Again, this is another image of TAC ICU along the parade route. It shows where they're at. Need to work on my video or my photography skills there. You can adjust the focal point on the camera in the app itself. So lesson learned. The cops always ask, is there audio? No, there's not. So, and then this is the video wall plugin from the Play Store. This is at our command post here. So you can see we've got 4 images up there. We've got 2 static and then 2 inside the parade there. And then this is after our TAC parade. This is kind of how we're getting up and running. Can you help me out one more time? I know everybody's chomping at the bit to get out of here. Let's go back one. What I did there was I used WinTAC and the TAC replay portion of that, selected the time frame, and then just sped it up, and it kind of speeds everything up. It's a good visual to get people aware of what you're actually doing. You can see that the mayor's in an orange. He's got orange on, so you can see he running around like he's got his head cut off there. But that's us deploying there, and then I think there's one more where we're taking up at the end. Let's go ahead and get back to the show here. All right, so TAC users, TAC is growing very rapidly. We hosted our second Tennessee TAC conference this year with the assistance of TAC Public Safety. They helped us. So Tennessee National Guard, they host a server for us, for the state. They have a certificate enrollment for any public safety out there. TBI is currently using it. We have Amos with Samsung and his whole East Tennessee region. I was able to take some of the Sartopo feeds from the responders that were sent from our area and put those Sartopo feeds into their East Tennessee region over there. Hamilton County, Chattanooga is going full speed ahead. They are probably the most rapidly growing program in the state. Humphreys County, they were just used for the explosion at the plant 3 weeks ago. And then Montgomery County, they're using it with EMS. TAC Resources, National Guard is basically public safety and certificate enrollment. And then EOTAC, they have a table on the side out there. They have offered to run a server statewide for us for 2 to 3 years until we get up and running. They also have EO Slack. All right, it used to be VK Systems, but EO Stack on the Play Store, they have all of their plugins and maps that you can get off of their free app. They're new, and they will also create a channel for any agencies in the state of Tennessee so that you can have a police, fire, and then there's also a county channel and also a state channel as well. So let me reiterate, if you're new to TAC, you need to use every blue sky event you can to practice TAC, because it's not like taking a picture of your breakfast and posting it on Facebook. Okay, it's much more complicated than that. I don't know if you've sat into any of the masters breakout rooms. Both of them ran into trouble. Okay, so practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect and permanent. So get in the app, use it as much as you can, hunt, fish with it, whatever. So thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. This is a great.
All righty. Thank you so much.